Hey guys, I just want to say thanks for tuning into tonight's gripping story. And without further ado, let's get into it. I still smell the pine pitch and blood when I close my eyes. It was the last weekend of deer season, 2023. Me, Corey, and Dale, three guys who've hunted together since we were 16, headed up to the north ridge of the Manistee National Forest. Locals call it the quiet side because once you cross the old logging road, no one goes in. No cell towers, no trails, no reason to. Just thick cedar swamp and ridges so steep, you hunt them on your knees. We parked Dale's truck at the dead end, shouldered our rifles, and hiked in at 4:15 p.m. Plan was simple. Still hunt till last light, then camp on the ridge above the swamp. Be out by noon Sunday with a buck or two. We never made camp. By 5, the light was already going brassy. We split up like always. Corey left, Dale right, me straight down the spine. Rule was whistle 3 times if you shoot something, once every 10 minutes to keep tabs. I remember checking my watch at 5:27. Wind out of the northwest, cold enough to burn the lungs. Perfect. At 5:30 exactly my watch stopped. Not died. Stopped. Second hand frozen at the 6. I tapped it, cursed, figured the cold killed the battery. Then I heard Corey's single whistle. Faint but clear, from the east bowl. 10 minutes early, but whatever. Maybe he jumped something, I answered with one of my own. No reply. I waited. Gave another. Nothing. That's when the woods went silent in a way I've never heard. No chickadees, no squirrels, no wind in the pines. Just my breathing and my heartbeat. I started toward Corey's whistle, moving fast. The ridge narrowed, dropped into a little saddle choked with blow-down cedar. I was maybe 200 yards in when I found his rifle. Just lying there in the needles. A brand new Browning X-Bolt, unscratched, safety still on. No blood, no drag marks. Corey would sooner leave his firstborn than his rifle. I whistled 3 sharp blasts. Nothing. Then Dale's voice, close, too close, behind me. Jesus Christ, Nate, tell me that's you. I spun. He was standing 10 feet away, pale as paper, eyes huge. His nose was bleeding slow, like someone popped him good. "Where's Corey?" I asked. Dale just pointed past me. 20 yards downhill in a patch of open hardwoods, Corey stood perfectly still, facing away. His orange vest glowed like a torch in the last light. He wasn't moving, not even swaying. "Corey!" I yelled. He didn't turn. Dale and I walked toward him slow, rifles up but not pointed. The silence pressed so hard my ears rang. When we got within 15 feet, Corey finally moved. He raised one hand, palm out, like stop. Then he pointed at the ground in front of him. There was a deer there, a big 10-point buck lying on its side, chest heaving. No arrow, no bullet wound, just dying slow. Its eyes were rolled back white, tongue thick and purple. Corey turned then. His mouth was open, but no sound came out. Tears cutting clean tracks through the dirt on his face. That's when I noticed the time on Dale's watch. 5:30, same as mine. Frozen. Dale whispered, "Look at the buck's rack." The antlers weren't right. They were twisted, spiraling inward like they'd been wound around something, the tips fused together in a perfect circle. Fresh velvet hung off in wet strips. The buck let out a sound I hope I never hear again, half bleat, half human scream, and then went rigid, dead in a heartbeat. Corey finally spoke, voice cracked in 2. "It's still here." I felt it before I saw it. The temperature dropped to 20 degrees so fast my breath crystallized midair. Every hair on my neck lifted like a static shock. Something stepped out from behind a big cedar 20 yards downslope. I say stepped, but that's wrong. It unfolded. First 2 legs, then 4, then more. Long, backward jointed, blacker than the shadows between trees. The body came last, tall as an elk but narrow, like skin stretched over a coat rack made of knives. No face I could fix on, just a suggestion of wet shine where a head should be, and antlers, no, not antlers, branches, living cedar branches growing straight out of its shoulders and back, still dripping sap and needles. It didn't walk toward us. The ground just got shorter between us and it, like the forest was folding. Dale raised his rifle. I grabbed the barrel and pushed it down. Don't ask me why. Instinct said bullets would only make it hungrier. Corey dropped to his knees and started muttering the Lord's Prayer backward. I swear to God, that's what it sounded like. The thing stopped 10 feet away. The air smelled like turned earth and pennies. It tilted what passed for a head, and every watch we wore, mine, Dale's, even Corey's old Timex, jerked forward 30 minutes at once. 5:30 to 6 in a single tick. And then it spoke. Not with a mouth. Inside our skulls, like a memory you didn't know you had. 3 came in. 3 must leave. But only after 1 chooses. The cedar branches on its back lifted, spread wide like wings. From each branch hung a deer, some fresh, some old and mummified, legs bound with their own intestines, eyes sewn open with pine needles. They were all still breathing. Slow, 30 breaths per minute. I could see their ribs rising and falling in perfect sync. Dale made a sound like a kicked dog. He looked at me, then at Corey, then at the thing. "No," I said. "We all walk out together." The creature leaned closer. I felt my heartbeat slow to match the hanging deer. 30 beats, 30 breaths, 30 minutes. It reached out, one impossibly long arm ending in too many fingers, and touched Corey's forehead with a single claw. Corey's eyes rolled back. He smiled like he was seeing his dead mother. Then he stood up, calm as Sunday morning, and started walking toward the creature. Dale lunged and grabbed his arm. "Corey, no." Corey turned, and for a second his face wasn't his anymore, something ancient wearing him like a coat. He whispered, "It's okay," I volunteered. He took one more step, and the forest swallowed him. No sound, no flash, just gone. The creature folded itself back into the dark at the same way it arrived. The silence broke like glass. Wind rushed in, birds screamed, my watch ticked again, 6:01 now. Dale and I stood there shaking, covered in Corey's orange vest fibers that were somehow all over us. We ran. We found the truck exactly where we left it. The drive out is a blur. When we hit cell service, both our phones showed 6:02 p.m. 32 minutes after we last had time. Search parties went in for 2 weeks. They found Dale's truck keys in the leaves. They found my rifle, I don't remember dropping it. They found the dead buck with the twisted antlers fused into a perfect ring. They never found Corey. Not a boot print, not a drop of blood. Sometimes, late at night, my watch stops at whatever time it is and jumps forward 30 minutes. When it does, I hear cedar branches scraping across my bedroom window, even though I live on the 4th floor of a brick building downtown. And once, just once, my phone buzzed with a video message from Corey's old number. It was 30 minutes long. The thumbnail is a frozen frame of him, standing in the dark, smiling cedar branches growing out of his shoulders like wings. I've never pressed play. I'm afraid if I do, the timer will start again. And this time, there'll only be 2 of us left to choose.